Good morning, Cook Rangers. This is Mr. Floyd. We're going to be doing a science lesson today, and we're going to be learning about hurricanes today. Let's start with our story. Our science lesson this week is about hurricanes, and we're going to take a look at some vocabulary from our board here that we're going to need to know to be able to read the next section. The story has a poem in it, followed by some facts about hurricanes. So here's some words you might see when we're reading today. Start, land, fear, give, blow, wash, end, clean up, leave, and hurt. Near, down, strong, small, big. Ocean, coast, people, gulf. Name, tree, store, rain. Water, flood, hurricane, wind. Mess, storm. Scientist, category, home, land, plant, animal. You'll find this page printed in color in your packet. Take a look at the packet and practice these words before you read your story. All right, let's take a look at our story, our poem, and our facts about hurricanes. All right, here's our story. You should find this in your packet. Chapter 2, Hurricanes. And there's a map on the first page, and it shows the Gulf of Mexico. Here's Texas, and Houston is right about here on the map. Now it shows the Gulf of Mexico because the Gulf of Mexico is a very likely spot to find hurricanes. It starts in the ocean, but may land on the coast. People near the Gulf, they fear it the most. And here's a list from 2013 of different hurricane names, and you can see that they have one name for every letter in the alphabet. Andrea, Barry, Chantal, Dorian, Aaron, Ferdinand, Gabrielle, and they always start with letter A for the first named storm and work their way through the list. We give it a name, but we don't know why. It won't be my friend if I get near the eye. The eye. Did you know the hurricanes have eyes? They do. An eye is how they describe the very middle of the hurricane, the very center. I can blow down a tree. I can wash away a store. Heavy rains come down and water floods the floor. So wind and rain. Hurricanes bring lots of wind and rain. A hurricane is strong. It's like a wild bull. The water and the wind, they push and they pull. A lot of the damage during storms are from either wind or water. When a hurricane ends, we see lots of smiles and we clean up the mess that goes on for miles. And you remember we had Hurricane Harvey here, and there was a lot of cleaning to do after that storm passed. That was a poem by Amy Bin. Now here are some facts about hurricanes in the next section. All right, the next section of our story are some hurricane facts. A hurricane starts as a small storm over warm ocean water. the storm builds into swirling clouds of rain and wind. Weather scientists identify hurricanes by giving them names. At first, hurricanes were only named with girls' names. Now, boys' names are used also. The names start with A every year and go in alphabetical order. Hurricanes are listed in 5 categories. A Category 1 hurricane has the mildest winds. A Category 5 hurricane has the strongest winds. A Category 5 hurricane is very dangerous. Most hurricanes that hit the United States hit along the Gulf or Atlantic coasts. When a hurricane is going to touch land, people along the coast are asked to leave their homes and move to a safe place. In the center of a hurricane is a small area called the eye. The weather around the eye is calm, but around the eye are the strongest winds. When hurricanes touch land, they can do lots of damage. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina destroyed more than 200,000 homes along the Gulf Coast. Hurricane Katrina hurt people, wildlife, and the land. In 2012, Hurricane Sandy hit the eastern seaboard. It flooded subways and tunnels in New York and hurt homes and people. So now we've learned some facts about hurricanes. Let's take a look at our questions. Here are some questions that we're going to answer now that we've finished reading our story and learning about hurricanes. Question number 1. What was this chapter about? Was it about snow, hurricanes, or thunder? Question number 2. Where does a hurricane start? Does it start over the ocean, over a mountain, or over a river? Question number 3. Where does a hurricane land? Does it land in the desert? Does it land on the coast? Or does it land in a lake? Question 4. What does a hurricane bring? Does it bring lots of sunny weather? Does it bring lots of snow? Or does it bring lots of wind? Question 5. What's important to know about this chapter? What's the main idea of this chapter? Hurricanes make a mess. People like hurricanes. Or hurricanes have names. Question number 6. Now these may have more than one correct answer. What names are used for hurricanes? Boys' names, girls' names, or food names? What word tells about the eye of a hurricane? Is the eye of a hurricane calm, snowy, or big? Question number 8. What year did Hurricane Sandy hit the eastern seaboard? You may have to go back and look that up in the story. Question number 9. Where do most hurricanes hit? Is it along the coast, in the mountains, or near a river? Question number 10. What do people need to do after a hurricane? Travel on a boat, clean up the mess, or they need to walk to school? Okay, you'll find these questions in your packet. Take your time, go back to the story and look things up if you need to. And that finishes up our science lesson for this week.